Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to do both right-leaning and left-leaning decreases on double knitting. And this is the Charted Territory hat. So to get started in this pattern, we're going to knit up until you have 4 stitches before the stitch marker, 2 in the blue and 2 in the yellow. So I have one more just regular stitch to go, and then we're going to do a right-leaning decrease. So we'll have to do a knit 2 together and then a slip slip purl 2 together through the back loop. And I'm also going to show you in slow motion too. So to start, we're going to take the second stitch and go into that stitch and skip the yellow stitch, second blue stitch, skip the yellow stitch and knit those 2 together. And we'll let that yellow stitch pop off towards the back and grab it with the left needle. And like I said, I'm going to do this in slow motion too. So here we're going to slip as if to knit, slip as if to knit, place those stitches back on the left needle, and then purl them together through the back loop. Okay, let's see this again in slow motion. So we want to take the second blue stitch on the needle and go into it. And we're going to knit it together with that first stitch. So go into that second stitch, skip the yellow stitch, and then go into the next blue stitch, grab your blue yarn, and pull it through those stitches. Now we want to let all 3 of these stitches slip off the needle, but we can kind of pinch with your thumb and your finger to hold that stitch, and then go grab that stitch, letting the blue come to the front. Then you'll bring both of your yarns to the front, and now we have to do a slip slip purl through the back loop. So slip as if to knit, slip as if to knit, put them back onto the left needle, and then purl those together through the back loop. So you have to reach around behind the stitches and then purl those together. All right, now we're going to move on to the left-leaning decrease. And in this pattern, there's one regular stitch between the 2 decrease stitches. So this is just a regular double knit stitch. Now we're going to do a slip slip knit decrease. So we can slip the first stitch, then we're going to slip the next 2 stitches together, which rearranges the stitches. So now we have 2 blue stitches together and 2 yellow stitches together. So now we can just go ahead and knit those 2 together through the back loop. We just performed an SSK. And now the mirror to that for the yellow is just purling these 2 together. And again, I'm going to show this in slow motion. So let's look at that again. So we want to rearrange the stitches. So we have to do a slip slip anyway. So we're going to slip 1 as if to knit. Then we're going to slip these 2 together like we're going to knit them together. But then we're going to take the yellow stitch back, and we're going to make sure that it's untwisted by taking it from the back and placing it back on. Because we wanted the blue stitches to get twisted, but we don't need the yellow ones to be twisted. So now we just knit these 2 together through the back loop, and that's effectively an SSK stitch. And now on this one, we just need to purl these 2 together. Versus on the other side where we did the slip slip purl through the back loop. This one is just easy purl 2 together. And then we can go on our way the rest of the way and just do the double knitting until we get to the next, the stitches before the next marker.